welcome to AHSAA Weekly, brought to you by AmFirst. I'm your host, Susan Carruthers, and let's not waste any time before getting into all the action going on in Alabama high school athletics. Today, we'll talk with head coaches and players from Moody at ARAB, this week's AHSAA TV Network Game of the Week. We'll also meet Russellville High School head football coach John Ritter and his record-setting receiver, Randall Johnson. And with the football playoffs in full swing, we'll close this week's show with plenty of Holtzford's highlights from last week's high school football and volleyball action. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome to the program now, Russellville High School coach John Ritter and senior receiver Randall Johnson. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, we are excited to get into talking about, obviously, you've had a successful season so far, but last week there were a lot of records broken in your game. Randall, you had 377 receiving yards, and you tied the AHSAA state record with 6 touchdown receptions. Tell me how that felt.
Yeah, it felt good. Really, coming to the sideline, everybody shaking your hand, jumping up and down, crowd loud. It felt good.
Well, that's amazing. Coach, how did it feel to you? Did you guys realize in the moment what an exciting record-breaking game you were experiencing?
Not really. I mean, we were, we had kind of a unique situation happen to us the week before where we gave up a big lead. So we were just focused on doing what we were supposed to do and continuing to score and get first downs. And, after the game, I think somebody brought up, Randall having 6 touchdowns and Harrison having 7 and how that tied state records. And, then, of course, after the game, we got to looking it up and was able to celebrate it then.
Well, Randall, let's see. I've got here that your touchdown catches covered 64, 73, 30, 80, 21, and 19 yards. How did you get so open?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was over. I would say my teammates just with good blocks at like crucial times with me running the ball, like they was really blocking.
That's great. Obviously, yeah, football's a team sport, and it takes the whole team to break records like that. Coach, what do you see in Randall's football future?
I think that he's going to be a good pickup for somebody. I think Randall's a late bloomer, which is kind of, hurt him as far as picking up early offers. But, when you see him in person, he's 6'3", 215 pounds. He can run, he blocks, and that probably the thing that I'm proud of more than any of the catches is how he blocks. We threw screens to our other receivers. We ran the football. And, not only is he blocking his guy, he's taking his guy and blocking him 10, 15 yards down the field. And, as a receiver, that's one thing that we kind of harp on with those guys is it's easy to be a pass catcher. Let's be more than that. And, he really, embodies all of that and is really an all-around good football player. And, somebody's going to be very lucky to pick him up.
Okay, guys. Well, obviously, looking just shortly into the future to this Friday night, you've got a big game against Pleasant Grove. What do you think it's going to take to win that game?
It's going to take a great effort on our part. Pleasant Grove is a great team. Coach LeBeau does a really good job. They've played for 3 state championships in a row, and this team is very talented, just like the rest of them. And so, offensively, we're going to have to make plays. We're going to have to, be very sound up front and do our job and execute at a high level. And defensively, we've got to make plays. They've got a very prolific passing attack, and we've got to, create some turnovers, whether that be a fumble, interception, or what. And, I think we've got really good players too. I think we've played a tough schedule, and I think we prepared ourselves for moments like this. And so hopefully, all those things will come together at the right time, and we'll play well, and our guys will make plays.
Well, that is great. We wish you all the best this week, and then continuing on throughout the playoff season. We wish you all the success, and that hopefully you'll end up in Auburn with us for the Super 7 championships. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks, and go Tigers.
Welcome back, everybody. We are thrilled to be joined now with Moody High School football coach Jake Gaines and left tackle Mason Myers. Welcome to the program, guys.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, obviously you have enjoyed a successful football season so far. I think you're 10-1, and you've won your first playoff game. So tell us a little bit about this team and what you've experienced this season.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I got here in January, and we were able to get some things changed really quick. And the biggest thing was just kind of getting the culture where I thought, it needed to be, or as close as we could get it. And guys like Mason, my senior class was a smaller class, but they bought in and went all in, and we're reaping that right now. And so I'm really proud of those guys and thankful for them and their buying and trust in me.
Well, that is awesome. Well, speaking of Mason, introduce us to the young man sitting next to you.
This is Mason Myers. Pancake 50 is what we call him. He's our left tackle. He's one of our captains, leaders. He does it all for us, but man, he's just been an absolute blessing to coach and be here with, and we wouldn't be here without him. So he coaches a youth flag football team, the Land Sharks. They were not very good, but this is their shirt. And so that's another part about him. I mean, giving back to the community. He goes and he either works after football practice, washes dishes, and has a full-time job, or he coaches in the youth league. So he's just a great, great kid.
Well, that is awesome, Mason. Obviously, one of your jobs as left tackle is to protect the quarterback's blind side. So tell us a little bit about your role on the team, maybe on and off the field.
Well, on the field for sure, I got to protect Cole and our running back at all times. That if they're safe, we succeed. And then off the field, you just got to deal with the locker room. If anybody's not doing something right, it's my job to fix it before I go to Coach Gaines about it.
Well, Mason, and I got here that you're 6'6", 270 pounds. So tell me a little bit about your future in the sport of football.
I'm going to play college football at Arkansas State University.
Well, that is awesome. Well, Coach, you have touched on this a little bit, but this question for you, being new there at Moody, tell us what makes this program and this school so special.
I think it's the community. When I got here, it felt like this was how high school football was supposed to be in terms of like a smaller town. Still, obviously, we're a 5A school and we've got a lot of people that live here, but it just felt like the right fit for me and my family. And the community has made this job really special. They've gotten behind this program and they've helped in 1,000 ways, whether it be donations of water, snacks, all the way to, helping us raise money for new helmets, shoulder pads, equipment. I mean, you name it. And so that's what makes this job special. And, I tell people all the time, it's really not the place, it's the people. And we have really, really special people here at Moody.
Well, that is fantastic. You guys have a big game coming up this Friday night against ARAB. It's going to be the AHSAA Network TV Game of the Week. What does it mean to your school and your program to be featured in a game like that?
Oh, it's a big deal. Anytime we can showcase ourselves to the state or to anybody, I love when my kids get, publicity and are in the newspaper, and I'm constantly trying to promote them because they deserve it. They work their tails off, and, for us to be able to showcase our program, statewide is a really big deal. A lot of our community probably won't be able to make the travel to ARAB, and we've had all of our games live streamed up until this point. So this is another opportunity for our citizens or people that, our grandparents in Florida, whoever, can watch us and keep up, and watch this game and watch these boys go play on Friday.
Well, that is great. Well, Coach Gaines and Mason, thank you so much. Good luck this week, this Friday night, in your big game against ARAB. We'll be watching, and we hope that you hopefully make it all the way to the Super 7 in Auburn in a few weeks. We hope to see you there.
Hope so. Thank you so much for having us.
All right. Thanks so much.
Retirement planning, investment planning, education planning, ad valorem, blah, 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 blah. Financial planners love to show their version of a perfect retirement, but what about your perfect retirement? At AmFirst Financial, we'll get to know you first, so we can make a plan for the person you'll be years from now, and future you will be glad we planned ahead. So call AmFirst Financial today. You'll thank you later.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
Welcome back to AHSAA TV Weekly. We are now joined with Arab High School football coach, Coach Lee Osment, and quarterback Aiden Cox. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Well, obviously, you guys are enjoying a great football season so far. I think you're 10-1, and you just won your first playoff game this past week. Tell us a little bit, Coach, about this team and what makes it special this year.
This team is special. It's made up of 22 seniors that have really been through a lot together. And, you know, I've been here 4 years, and they were the first class that came in as freshmen, and I've kind of watched them grow and mature and buy in, and it's been amazing to watch. And then, you know, about 2 years ago, it seemed that they started growing up and getting physically more mature, and they started playing some really, really good football. And you know, it's been that way ever since. So I'm excited, you know, that this time has finally come. It's kind of bittersweet because you're just one game away from it all ending, but you know, this bunch right now is going to refuse to lose, and I'm proud of them. They've worked hard, and they've been an honor and a pleasure to coach.
Well, that is great. And you are joined right there with your senior quarterback, Aiden Cox. Introduce us to Aiden. Tell us about his role on the team.
This is Aiden. This is my QB1, and he's been quarterback all 4 years here, and was a starter 3 years ago as a sophomore. Our starter, he was actually a backup. Our starter got hurt the week before the season, and he came in and played for us all year. And then last year, Ed Johnson, he came back and he started again last year, and he was resigned to a second team role. And you know, I tell this story, and he probably gets tired of hearing it, but you know, he came to me and wanted to play more, not necessarily quarterback, but he wanted to play. So we put him on special teams, and he long snapped, and he did all these other things, and he earned my respect, but he earned a lot of the team's respect that year playing second fiddle, because he didn't just soul up, and he didn't just pout up because, you know, he wasn't playing. He found a way to contribute, and and he'll tell you this, he became a better football player last year because he was playing other positions. He played some free safety. He played every special team. You know, he did it all. And then this year he stepped into the starting position, and it's been just a joy to watch because he just takes it over. He took it over immediately.
Well, that is an awesome story, Aiden. Obviously, that story speaks to your leadership skills on the team. But tell us how you view your leadership and your role on your team.
I view it as one of the most important parts, but also it's not just me. It's everybody else on the team. We've got 22 seniors, and we're veteran led. So I think that all of us together, we really bond together, and we help these underclassmen as well. We help them with the process as well, and I think just everybody together is what's helping us the most.
Coach Osment, changing the subject a little bit, I hear that you actually have a law degree, and obviously that takes a lot of time and hard work, but after all that, you followed your heart and went into coaching. So tell me a little bit about that decision, and have you ever regretted it?
Oh, I regretted practicing law for as long as I did. That's all I regret. No, look, I've worked with great people. I practiced law for 8 years, graduated from law school, practiced law for 8 years, and loved who I worked with. So that wasn't the issue. The issue was I didn't love what I was doing. And so I ended up walking away from it. I had to teach under emergency certificate and coach at Gadsden High and did that and cut my income in half. But I'm telling you, I don't regret it. There is not a moment since that I have regretted it. Now it's just as hard. It's just as difficult, and some of the problems are, I mean, they just don't make any sense sometimes. But it's why the good Lord created me. I'm where the good Lord created me to be, and I know that, and I know it's the calling upon my life, and I'm proud that that God's placed me here and taken me to the places that He has taken me. It just seems like one has built on the next, and it's almost like this is the grand finale, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be an AHSAA.
Well, that is inspiring, and we are thankful that you and so many other coaches around the state have answered that call and gone into the good work of coaching. You guys have a big game coming up this Friday night against Moody. We're going to watch it. It's on the AHSAA TV network, and that's the game of the week. So we wish you all the best in that game, and then hope that you go on and go forward and even end up in the Super 7 in Auburn in several weeks. But we thank you for taking the time to join us on the program today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thanks. And we'll be right back after this on AHSAA TV Weekly.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
As temperatures cool off in Alabama, the football and volleyball action heats up. Let's get into the best of the best action from last week in this edition of Holtzford's Highlights. We open this week's highlights with a quick look at the AHSAA 67th State Cross Country Championship held at Jesse Owens Course at Oakville Indian Mounds Museum and State Park near Moulton. Big winners during the event were Savannah Williams, who crossed the finish line for her second straight Class 5A individual title, clocking in at 18:17.92 to help Lawrence County win in Class 5A Girls Division. Auburn's Maxwell Harden set a course record and state meet record in the rain and mud, running 14:43.63 over the 3.1-mile course. He finished a few steps ahead of Matt Conwell of St. Paul's Episcopal, who also bested the previous course record by running 14:56.4. We congratulate all of the team and individual winners. We move next to the AHSAA State Football Playoffs first round of competition. We head to DeKalb County first, where the Fife Red Devils, 10-0 of Coach Paul Benefield, faced Red Bay in Class 2A. This Fife team looked much like the Fife teams of past years as it rolled past the Tigers 55-8. We pick up on the action in the first quarter with Hunter McCann streaking for a 36-yard touchdown to give Fife the lead. Later in the half, the Red Devils' workhorse Logan Anderson scores on a 19-yard run, and 4 minutes later, Brody Hicks busts through a hole to the sidelines and races 44 yards for another Fife touchdown. Benefield, who was selected last week to be inducted into the Alabama High School Sports Hall of Fame, watched his team claim its 333rd career win, rolling up 362 rushing yards in the process, with Anderson leading the way with 161 yards on 10 carries. With the win, the Red Devils advanced to play Winston County this week at Double Springs in the second round of the playoffs. After opening the season at 0-2, Gadsden City's Titans won the Class 6A Region 8, finishing the regular season with 4 straight wins. Coach Allie Smith's team kept that momentum going in the first round versus Coleman High School in Class 6A. Titans quarterback Matthew Sparks threw for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns, all 3 going to receiver Clyde Curry, who continued to be a big play force for Gadsden City. He finished the night with 9 catches for 146 yards, and teammate TJ Worthy rushed for 104 yards on 14 carries as Gadsden City won 41-24, setting up this week's round 2 battle at home with powerful Mountain Brook. Pleasant Grove Spartans opened up the Class 5A playoffs against Alexandria with one goal in mind, to reach the Class 5A Super 7 state finals for the 4th straight year. Pleasant Grove quarterback Eric Hanley completed 13 of 16 passes for 290 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the Spartans past the Valley Cubs 43-14. We look in on the action with Hanley finding Clarence Taylor on the second play of the game to get things started. Still in the first quarter, an 82-yard scoop and score by Nathan Lavender helps put the Spartans of Coach Darryl LeBeau up 15-0. And from there, it was all Pleasant Grove as Hanley added 2 more touchdown passes to Rashad Sager and again to Taylor, who finished with 4 receptions and 121 yards with 2 scores. Pleasant Grove, which has gone 54-11 in LeBeau's 5-year tenure, advances to face Russellville on the road Friday night in the second round. Russellville's first round 63-10 Class 5A playoff win over Boaz was a highlight reel, especially the first half. We pick up on the game when quarterback Harrison Birch and receiver Randall Johnson, they're already on their way to record-setting performances. Birch was 17 of 27 passing on 481 yards and 7 touchdowns, both school records, and Johnson caught 7 passes for 377 yards and 6 touchdowns. The 6 TDs tied the state record held by 3 other receivers, as he became the first player since 2010 to accomplish this feat. His 377 receiving yards ranks second all-time in the AHSAA record book for the most receiving yards in a game. Birch's final touchdown pass was caught by Cash Crumpton as Russellville built a 56-10 lead at the half and cruised to the win. The Golden Tigers of Coach John Ritter host Pleasant Grove in the second round Friday night. Moving south to Mobile County, we pick up the Class 6A Round 1 playoff game between Wetumpka and Saraland. The host Spartans, coached by Jeff Kelly, were boosted to the win by the outstanding performance of sophomore Ryan Williams, who had himself quite a game. Williams rushed for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns, caught 7 passes for 141 yards, and 2 more scores that led the charge as Saraland posted a 48-14 win. Sante McWilliams added 19 carries for 100 yards, and quarterback KJ Lacey passed for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. Saraland travels to unbeaten Hillcrest Tuscaloosa this week for the second round of the playoffs. Back in Mobile County next, we check out unbeaten Theodore, who was just that in its Class 6A Round 1 playoff battle versus Sidney Lanier High School. Running back Braden Jenkins sets up the Bobcats in the first quarter with this run and gets in to score for the first of his 3 rushing touchdowns on the night to help lead the Bobcats of Coach Eric Collier. Theodore defensive back Braylon Robinson reads the Poets' trickery here to grab an interception and return it to the red zone to set up another Jenkins score. Jenkins finished with 22 carries and 194 yards as Theodore downed Sidney Lanier 35-20. Theodore advances to host Hueytown in the second round Friday night. We close out the NFHS Network School Broadcast Program highlights with Class 5A UMS Wright hosting Headland in a game of major historic proportions. We pick up the action with the Bulldogs running back Cole Blaylock picking up good yardage. He finishes the game with 17 carries for 302 yards and 4 touchdowns as UMS Wright won 56-13. Making head coach Terry Curtis the AHSAA's all-time football coaching wins leader with his 347th victory. Curtis, who also serves on the AHSAA Central Board of Control, moved past Vestavia Hills High School's Buddy Anderson. Congratulations to Coach Curtis and UMS Wright from all of us at the AHSAA TV network and the AHSAA office. Unbeaten UMS Wright advances to the second round this week to host Beauregard.
Earl Woods, Gatorade Player of the Year, has proven that new year, same result. Another touchdown, 56-28. James read along with Luke Robinson. And Luke, you said this would be a high-scoring game. I didn't think it would be as high as it got.
Well, I'm a little shocked that Benjamin Russell could only put up 7 points in the second half. all the credit in the world to the Hueytown coaching staff. I mean, they made some adjustments both offensively and defensively and got things going.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights, and Earl Woods was showing that, yes, he is one of those best players, and his teammate, Jaquil Rouser, making a big play, and running the football is what they do best. Elijah Hudson on the carry, but there's that young man Milner. He's able to walk him down.
Boy, and I mean, he just engulfed him there, and he does it again here in just a second. But Hueytown does end up getting the touchdown both times. I think if you're the Benjamin Russell team, though, that's irrelevant. The effort of Corey Milner was something to behold.
Long run here by Rouser. And once again, here's that man coming out of nowhere into the center of your screen. Milner, touchdown saving tackle. But on the next play, Hudson able to find the end zone. And you thought it would be all Gophers, but no, the Wildcats come roaring back. And they're able to find Milner on a long touchdown pass. He had a great first half, catching two guys and catching a touchdown.
Yeah, Milner had a heck of a game in that first quarter. You know, he squeezed a lot right into that first quarter, and then that was an interesting play right there on special teams.
Aquavius Mayberry with that one, but then it would be Hines with the touchdown-saving interception to keep the Wildcats at bay. And you would think at this point, once again, it'll be all Gophers, but no, not yet. Here comes the other Hines, Mikel Hines with the touchdown, and they expand the lead to 14 points again. But Mr. Benton says, no, I'm not going to have that. Touchdown strike there, and then a double pass. They'll find Foster all alone, and he'll take it into the house, and they go into the locker room all tied up at 21 apiece.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And then, of course, Benjamin Russell in the second half, they come out and they're able to take the lead. But after that, it was all Hueytown.
Long pass finds no one because Franklin's right there to have strong defense, but they go on the ground, and Ty Williams, great hand placement there to keep his balance and get into the end zone. They have a 7-point lead, and then after that, it's all Hueytown. Rouser gets it and just walks into the end zone, and wow, boom, boom. I mean, he can run fast and apply the blow, and defensively, they were outstanding, getting the loose balls and giving the ball back to their offense after they stymied the offense of Benjamin Russell. Rouser again keeping his feet, getting into the end zone, touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And the defense, once again, outstanding for Hueytown.
Yeah, Benjamin Russell had ample opportunities, third and short, fourth and short, and they just never seemed to be able to get the conversions.
And it seems as though they got the wake-up call. We talked to head coach Greg Patterson about what happened when his team was down, that they flipped the switch and got their offense going.
Well, my coaches did an excellent job making adjustments at halftime, and we just challenged those guys to come out and play Hueytown football. That team we got really fought hard. Give all the credit to Coach Griner and that group and what he's done. But my kids, just answered the bell to the challenge we gave them at the half.
Your defense stepped up big early in this ball game, getting turnovers after turnovers, really touchdown-saving plays. What can you say about your defense? Even though they gave up 28 points, they were really able to step up big.
Yeah, I heard you say something about defense, but I can't be more happy for those guys. Had a huge turnover right there. I think it was Mikel Hines that got that, and was a real turning point for us that, give the ball back to our offense and just let our tempo take over. That's just who we are.
Coach, you have to play Theodore in the second round. What can you tell us initially, or what you know about the Theodore squad you'll be taking on next week?
It's a long trip. That's all I know. I haven't watched any of them, so I don't know anything about them. I just know we got a bus trip, very similar to what we had with McGill-Tulane last year. So thankfully, we've got some experience on making that trip, and we'll have our guys ready.
Coach, thank you so very much for your time. Congratulations, and good luck to you on your road to the Super 7.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.